welcome back. So we are here this week with Connor Garvey from the men's volleyball team, a junior from Baldwinsville. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So the first thing that I'm sure you saw on my little notes here is so I'm from Beeville. I live in Beeville still.
Oh, sure.
So talk to me a little bit about like coming up in Beeville. Like,
Sure.
do you plan on maybe being there after graduation or?
I'm a big family guy, so I always have been. I live in Beaver my whole life. I wouldn't mind staying. I plan on staying in the area, staying in the state. But really, kind of what brought me here from Beeville was kind of a joke with the old coach, Jim Nichols. I was working for him spring break of my senior year. I was already planning on going to OCC, just a community college route, figure things out, go from there.
Did they have a team there? Were you gonna play?
No, I was strictly going for school, and I was working, actually setting the volleyball nets up at Sharky's, and he goes, "What are you doing for college?" I was like, "Community college," and he said, "Come to Wallace, play volleyball." I was like, "Okay."
Sure.
I submitted my application. 2 days later, I was accepted, and said and done. He calls it the easiest recruiting he's ever done.
Nice.
That's kind of, it was pretty quick, easy. Kind of got here just random, but ended up here, and here I am. So
Nice. So, do you have who is a favorite teacher of yours at Beeville? Anyone?
Sheila Heaton. She was my AP bio teacher, and I took a couple other classes with her throughout high school, and she really made me have a love for science and wanted me to go in the medical field for the rest of my future. So
Okay.
I definitely give it to her, but I definitely my favorite teacher throughout high school.
Awesome. So, is that talk to us a little bit about like what you're studying here,
Yeah, sure.
what direction you think you might want to
So
go?
I came here as a bio major because I only pretty much took biology classes throughout high school. But then last semester switched to health sciences because biology is, it's pretty specific, where health science is much more broad.
Yeah.
So it's much better for me. I want to go into nursing, so after this, go to grad school and then get a nursing job and maybe re-specialize or whatever. So that's my plan right now. But
Nice. Excellent. Have you started looking you're a junior now, but have you started looking any
I've
post grad
looked
stuff?
At, Stanger in Syracuse, Lemoyne, Upstate, Krause, places like that. So staying near home, good places to finish my education though at the same
Right.
time. So
So you said it was the easiest recruitment to get here.
Yes.
How's your experience been? Are you happy with this decision?
it was definitely. I was just kind of like, okay, I'm doing it. So it was definitely weird at first because I was kind of just like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and just kind of said yes to something I'm not really sure about.
Yeah.
But after I visited, did more research on the school, did more research on the team, I noticed I was getting myself into something pretty good. And ended up being really well my freshman year. Ended up loving it, loving my time here, loving the team, and wanted to stay. So
Great. So this weekend starting today, you have a game
Yes.
or a match with SUNY Potsdam, and then we have a tri match this weekend, Saturday. So you're really in the thick of it. Talk to me a little bit about this year's team, how you think things have been going. If you're looking forward to this weekend, talk to me a little bit about it.
Coming into the season, we had much higher expectations than where we stand right now. We're obviously 1-9, not where we wanted to be, not where we expected to be, but we're kind of using that as a way to get better. And we use a lot of film for both practices and games, and we break that down individually and as a team to really nitpick things that we do wrong and to fix that in practice. And then the one biggest thing we've seen is implementing what we use in practice in a game. And even if we're not winning in a game, we're staying close to a really good mix of equally level teams to us and teams that are nationally ranked. So if we're staying close to them, we're obviously doing something well, but we just can't close games or finish games or whatever it may be. But if we're using what we do in practice in a game, I feel like that's some success. So in some cases good, some cases bad, I guess. Depends on how you look at it.
Right. And a coach for mine a while ago told me you can't fix everything all at once. If you do, nothing's gonna get fixed. So you got to focus on one thing, fix that, focus on the next thing. So obviously, like you said, you guys have been taking what you've been using in practice.
That's
so
kind of our mindset, where we just can't fix everything at once, obviously, like you said, and we focus on blocking one time, passing one time, so whatever it may be in practice, and then the next game we find that is successful.
Right.
So it kind of makes us look back and say, okay, we did something right,
Mm-hmm.
or made it work. So
Nice. So for anybody that might be watching this that maybe isn't at Wells or is thinking about Wells, or even just playing college athletics at all, kind of take us through like a typical day for you, whether it's practice or a game day, and maybe how that varies, maybe your rituals.
Practices, I mean, every day. It's never anything. It's normal routine. Go to class, come back at night, 4:30 to 6:30. Usually practice, eat dinner, hang out at night, do some homework. That's it. Game day a little bit different. Obviously, you wake up with a different mindset. You're thinking about the game the whole day. I mean, wake up, usually eat lunch, go through your day normally, and then once afternoon hits, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, kind of switches your mindset into it's game day. And whether it be traveling or home, you just got to think about what you got to do to perform, or you got to do to, depending if we watch the team, what we got to do to stop them, their best players, or know what they do at all times, just to help us the best we can.
So especially, I would say, well, let me ask you this first. What do you think, or what have you noticed in your 3 years that was like the biggest jump from the high school to the college level, or like the biggest
Speed of
difference?
the game, for sure. Everything's so much quicker, and everyone is just, obviously, it's lowering the pool of players.
Yeah.
So everyone's so much better than high school. So you're playing players that are the same as you, as opposed to having a huge gap of really good players and not so good players. But everyone is a pretty equivalent level, and it makes it really good for really good play and competition, and makes you get better at the same time, which is really good.
Yeah. Maybe more at the high school level, you're able to kind of just go through the day, and like by the time the game comes, you're like, all right, let's just go out there and try and win.
Right.
At the college level, you kind of have to always be thinking about it, kind of like you said, when you're going over film, you have to sort of remember like things you saw and things that the other team's going to do. So would you say it's like more of like a mental load almost in college as far
it's
as
honestly more than in high school. It's just kind of like you play a sport. It's your hobby. In college, on top of being a student, it's almost like your job, because it's so much more time out of just the gym or the field, whatever it may be. You got to study film. You got to focus on yourself, nutrition. I mean, you got to focus on so much more than just I can go have fun in the gym for an hour and a half.
right?
I mean, so it becomes more serious if you take it that way. So it can be beneficial to you as well.
Nice. Is there anything you try to avoid on game day?
Not really. For example, this past week, Wednesday, we had a game at Poly, and my roommate just bought Girl Scout cookies. And on the bus ride there, ate like half a thing of Thin Mints, and then played, and it was like nothing happened. So, I mean, I don't really have too many superstitions, I guess, but.
Okay, nice. So everyone that's played a sport knows that like maybe a certain coach has more of an impact on you than others. Do you have kind of like a most impactful coach in your life that either maybe left a mark on you or?
Certainly. My high school coach, he kind of started me off with the love of volleyball. We're still really close to this day, and he kind of got me into also playing beach, which has also improved my game a lot. And then also our old coach here, Jim Nichols, he's kind of like my second dad in a way. He's my manager for work. I mean, he's coached me, he's helped me through volleyball in so many different ways, and so I mean, if I were to put it, it'd probably be him. Yeah.
Nice. Is the Bevo coach still there?
No, actually, my senior year was his final year, and then he retired.
Okay.
But the JV coach just kind of moved up to the spot. So
Nice.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law is actually the new women's coach there. Danielle Saylor.
Yes.
Yeah,
My sister is playing volleyball at Geneseo.
Really? Yeah. So yeah, my brother married her sister, so our families got really close. But yeah, so
her dad is the.
Yeah, he was at CNS.
CNS, yeah.
Yep.
And I got to know him through volleyball there too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's sort of, well, not sort of. He is recently retired. But yeah, definitely a small
when I
world.
was playing, at least he was still there, so it was.
Yeah. So since you've been here in your 3 years, do you have a favorite memory at all, or whether it's
definitely from my freshman season, because throughout the year we started ranked 11th in the country, and then we took our first opening 4 games. We're out in California in January, and we went 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a huge start. And throughout the season, we just were doing amazing. It ended up being 6th in the country at one point, and then COVID happened, and it kind of just was like, damn.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was going so well, and then it just got stopped. So who knows what could have happened? I mean, I'm not really sure. I'd like to know, but may never.
Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs.
Sure. Very
Yeah,
true.
bummer. It's nice to go to California. Where in California did you guys end up going? Okay.
Mm-hmm. We were there for a week. We played 4 games over the course of a few days. It was amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like
Good
it.
weather for the week, so in January it was nice.
Yeah, much nicer than I'm sure
Yeah.
whatever was going on here. So in high school, did you play anything besides volleyball?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I played baseball on the side for about 10 years prior to volleyball, but once I started playing volleyball, I strictly kept it to volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Do you have, besides playing volleyball, do you have a sport that you really like to watch or are really into,
Football,
like have favorite
football,
teams?
Baseball, for sure. I've grown up watching MLB and NFL, so those are just 2 sports I've always kept up on and always watched.
Who are your teams?
The Washington Commanders and the Yankees.
Yeah, the Commanders, nice.
Yes.
Not a fan of that.
No, I was with the Redskins. They changed it. And then I was like the football team. I was like, okay.
Yeah, whatever. It's a name, yeah.
Just whatever. And then Commanders, I was just like, that's just dumb.
Yeah, it's no
But,
good.
Hey,
And
okay. Oh well.
and the Yankees, I'm a Yankee fan too, but it's kind of depressing recently. Like, it's not just that they've not done very well, but like, is there even going to be a season?
Right,
Like, what's happening with that?
No baseball, that was tough because
Yeah.
I mean, some people hate baseball, but I love watching it.
Yeah, especially like once I'm big into the NBA, so like once the NBA is over, the NFL is over. I don't watch the NHL, but that'll be over too, and it's just baseball all summer. But if that's not happening,
It's on baseball, so
yeah, you could just throw it on.
yeah, exactly.
So on campus, do you have sort of, I know there's not many, but like a favorite spot to grab food or like a favorite meal maybe that's available?
Definitely going to the well with my friends after practice, or going down to the Fargo to get food, or even a Surefine sub once in a while is good because
Where's that from?
Green Springs.
Oh, okay.
They make really good subs, honestly.
At like that supermarket or whatever?
Yeah,
Nice.
right in the back.
Mhm.
There's they got a little sub spot. It's pretty good.
Nice. Is there at the I noticed you didn't say the dining hall. Is there anything there that's like you're like, oh sweet? They actually have it.
Occasionally, waffle chicken pizza is pretty solid. But there's also a few things where we're just like,
Think I'll pass. Yeah.
there's days that we're like, okay, yeah, we're not even going to the dining hall. So,
Are you a coffee drinker or like if you got to stay up, what are we drinking?
Usually, I'll go to the grind, grab your drink. Depends on the day, I know. But other than that, energy drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, not great, but that's okay.
Oh well.
If you're not practicing or in the gym or whatever, what are you usually doing? What do you like to do?
Hanging out with my roommates, just chilling, hanging out, doing whatever. Just having fun, honestly.
Do you live on campus?
Yeah.
How many? Just one roommate or what?
I have 3.
Okay,
Yeah, we live in a quad, so we have fun.
nice. Do you have? We kind of like to just ask not prying questions, but like kind of get to know you. So, favorite TV show? Are you binging anything? Do you like to binge? What's the deal?
Like in the past 2 years, I really haven't found myself binging too much. But like freshman year, senior year, high school, freshman year, college, I binged a lot of just random stuff for no reason. I mean, there's a show called The Blacklist. Netflix, really good. I binged that in really quick. It was super long. I just stayed up.
Yeah, that's like a network show. That's like 22
Yeah,
episodes a season or something crazy. Yeah.
Hour episodes, just
Yeah.
stay up 2 in the morning, be up till 5 in the morning, get 3 hours of sleep, just watch it. It was so dumb, but I did it. But not really.
Yeah, like you said, especially during the season, volleyball or whatever sport you're playing is kind of the majority of your time.
Sure.
Or not kind of, but it is.
Even with school, once school work's over, it's volleyball. So,
Yeah.
it's not even really thinking about school all the time. It's more volleyball, honestly. But definitely making sure you're getting schoolwork done too, just to.
Yeah, that's to keep you eligible to play.
So I keep playing. But
Favorite movies at all?
not really. Not a big. I mean, I watch
Yeah.
movies. I watch movies, but not a huge like sit down and watch a movie kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
So not into like all the superheroes or anything
no,
like that?
not. I've never gotten into Marvel like Harry Potter or anything like those. Like all like the marathon type movies.
Yeah, like Star
Never
Wars,
really,
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings, anything like that?
no, never really watched
Nice.
any of that.
Interesting. Do you have a pregame song that you go to that's like, all right, let's go?
I have a playlist I've had since senior year
Mm-hmm.
high school, and I've kind of just added songs that I like to listen to before a game, and I just kind of it's a huge mix of just a bunch of random stuff, and I just usually just listen to that before a game.
Nice. So I mean, if it's from senior year high school, you've really
Yeah, it's pretty,
accumulated
it's,
probably a
it's
lot of
extensive, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, I've just over the course of the years figured out what I like
Yeah.
and what gets me ready.
Who's in charge of the music for like pregame when you're warming up? You.
Well, we were gonna do it was me and Ryan, but
Mhm.
I was Apple, he was Spotify, and we chose to use Apple.
Yeah, I do
instead.
Apple too.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right choice. So from stuff that you can share, like on the weekends around here, or even like weekends over the summer, like what do you guys do around here when you're not in season? Like I know you said go to the Fargo, but
Yeah.
like is there anything else that kind of?
like in the spring when it's really nice.
Mhm.
A big group of us will always walk from the waterfall from the bottom up
Mhm.
in the water. It's really nice to just be able to walk in the water and walk to the top of the waterfall.
Mhm.
Or just go hang out outside by the lake, take a drive, whatever it may be. Just go hang out. Usually we're together because I mean, bigger the better.
Yeah, yeah. And as far as like the campus goes, it's a lot of the stuff is original, but it's pretty scenic, and you got the lake, so a lot of like whether it's hiking or just kind of almost
Being
sightseeing.
outside,
Yeah,
yeah.
being outside
Yeah.
is
Huge.
a good way to pass the time. Do you have anything that you'd like to, or anyone that you'd like to shout out, or like any questions that you have? Anything you want to say to the fans before this weekend?
Come out, Schwartz, blackout tonight.
Blackout tonight?
Yep.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, hopefully we can go out and get a good 3 wins for fans who ever come and be ourselves. There'll be 3 huge wins if we can do it. We're home, and that's
That's right. Not home that often, but this is
because our 1 win is at home.
That's right. Undefeated, yeah.
So, yep, we're undefeated at home, so
Mhm.
hopefully we can keep it like that. But whatever happens, we'll move on.
All right, great. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having
It was fun talking to you, and we'll be back next week with maybe a coach, maybe a player, but we'll be back. And thanks for listening.